Okay, so
Okay.
Gopal, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Great. This is your first slide. Once you're done seeing it, let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your diagnosis?
These are the multiple ready patches all over the bladder. So it can be the cystitis.
Yes.
It can be carcinoma in situ with the some lump. I am not able to see. It can be finding of interstitial cystitis. I will make the differential diagnosis because I don't know about the history.
Yes. So what is the differential diagnosis? When you'll get such a petechial hemorrhage?
Sir, it can be due to any infectious cause like a cystitis in the tuberculosis. It can be seen in the CIS. It can be seen due to the irritation due to the foreign body also.
Yeah. So basically, either it is a carcinoma in situ or it is because of the cystitis. And what are the
Yes,
three
sir.
important cystitis you will come across? One is
Sir,
interstitial cystitis, chronic cystitis,
any infectious cystitis.
and infectious cystitis or post, as someone has said, post BCG.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So see, you don't have to go into detail. If you
Yes,
answer, this is only 5 minutes you are given. In that 5 minutes, you have to answer all these 4 questions.
Yes, sir.
We are
Yes, sir.
preparing you. At
Yes,
present, we are not much interested into going to too much of theory.
Yes, sir.
Like someone has said, radiation cystitis. Yes. So
Yes,
you should
So
remember these 5 conditions.
I think you should say cystitis due to
Yeah.
infection, radiation,
Yes,
interstitial
sir.
cystitis,
Yeah.
foreign body, and BCG.
Yes, sir.
In one sentence, it's done.
And second is your carcinoma in situ. Very good.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Second.
What are the major and minor criteria for diagnosing interstitial cystitis?
Sir, major criteria, sir, more than 10 glomerular in the per quadrant for more than 3 quadrants or Hunner's ulcer. That is the major criteria, and the minor criteria is the urgency or the suprapubic pain with the symptoms. And one should be positive in the both.
So are you happy with the answer?
Dr. Gite?
Geetil sir?
Yes,
Pankaj
sir.
Mantri,
Pankaj, where is Pankaj bhai?
He's also there.
Gite sir is
Actually, on my side, there is a huge issue with internet. I can't hear properly.
Okay, can you just repeat, Gopal?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Major criteria, sir. The more than 10 glomerular per quadrant for more than 3 quadrant in the bladder or the Hunner's ulcer, and one should be positive from both of them. And the minor criteria is the urgency and the suprapubic pain associated with the uni symptoms.
Okay.
And one should be positive both of them.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Gite, you want to say anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Dr. Oswal, you want to say?
No, sir. Proceed.
Proceed. Okay, fine.
So
Go ahead.
may I just say there is something called the NIDDK criteria.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Okay, the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases criteria. The cystoscopic findings include glomerulations in 3 quadrants or at least 10 glomerulations per quadrant, Hunner ulcer, and the third thing that you missed out was glomerulations should be along the path of the should not be along the path of the cystoscope.
Okay.
And the second thing is subjective symptoms, which should be pain along with urgency.
Yeah.
yes. So only the path he has forgotten. So please
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the describe mentioned this thing? Principles
Mention
of
the principles of cystoscopy.
Uh,
How do you do a cystoscopy in this patient? There are certain specific.
Not in this patient, any patient who are
Any-
doing cystoscopy. Tell us.
Yeah, we should, sir, fill the bladder till the 500 to 700 ml, and we should see the glomerulations on that, or we have to increase the pressure of the bladder more than 80 centimeter of the water.
You
So
tell
we
me
can
how
see
you
the
are going to. You tell me how you are going to do a cystoscopy once the patient has got syndrome like that. He has got a dysuria, he has got a pain in suprapubic region, he has got a frequency, and you are suspecting cystitis. Now, how will you do
Yes, sir.
cystoscopy?
Sir,
Tell me.
first principle before doing cystoscopy is rule out the urinary tract infection or any other identifiable
Yes,
cause.
okay. He doesn't have you rule out everything.
Yeah,
Now I have
infection.
given you cystoscope and you are
Yes,
starting
sir.
your cystoscopy. Tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I will assess the urethra and I will assess the trigon. I will assess there is no any foreign body, any visible tumor, and or any diverticuli.
Once you have entered into the bladder, what is the
Yes,
first
sir.
thing you will do?
Sir, I will rule out any mass in the
You will
bladder.
empty the bladder, no? First.
Yes,
First,
sir.
you will immediately empty the bladder to find
Empty
out
the
what is the
bladder. Yes, sir.
residual
Yes, sir.
urine.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
With the
Yes, sir.
minimal inflow. Second
Yes,
thing,
sir.
what you will do then? Now
I
you will
will
do a cystoscopy. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And in cystoscopy, you will do whatever you are saying. You will
Yes, sir.
find out how is the ureteric orifice.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
And
Yes,
you
sir.
will see whether there is any mass, any foreign body, or any
Foreign body.
stone, calculi.
See,
Yes,
Gopal, you are directly going to bladder diverticulum, mass orifice. That is not the question. The question is how will you do cystoscopy?
Yes, sir.
Principles of cystoscopy. So here you
now-
have to say you will do pan cystoscopy.
Pan
You will
cystoscopy,
see the
sir, yeah.
urethra, you will see the prostatic size, you will enter the bladder, you will see the
Yes, sir.
bladder neck, how
Yes, sir.
high it is, low it is. Then you
Yes,
will
sir.
empty the bladder, you will see the bladder capacity. You will see what is happening immediately after entering the bladder. Is there any
Yes, sir.
stone decompression, hemorrhage? Then you will go systematically from studying each and every aspect of the bladder, that is the two orifices, the intertrigonal bar, then the back wall, then the side wall at the inferior side of the side wall and superior aspect, and then the dome of the bladder, and then the bladder neck towards the end.
Yes, sir.
And then again you will distend the bladder, again empty, and you will see again. That is
Yes,
what
sir.
they are asking principles. Tanvi, if you want to add something, please.
Dr.
go ahead.
Gaurang, I want to add two things.
Yeah,
Yes.
tell me.
Sir.
This is Dr. Ajay Oswal.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we have been taught that before you take a patient to cystoscopy,
You
ask him to
empty.
void first.
Yes,
Correct,
yes.
correct.
That is the first thing.
So Gopal has not mentioned that.
Yes.
Gopal,
Yes, sir.
you should ask the patient to pass urine and then come on the OT table.
Yes, sir.
That is one. And second, to fill up the bladder with 500 to 700 ml, I think I disagree with that.
Sir, till so we
Gopal.
should distend the bladder to see the glomerulations.
Gopal,
Yes, sir.
this type of cystoscopic picture is usually seen in a patient who has a small capacity bladder secondary to the various type of the problem. It
Yes.
may be interstitial cystitis, it may be radiation cystitis, it may be tuberculosis cystitis, or it may be carcinoma in situ with some normal capacity bladder. So major issue here is size of the bladder usually is small. If you
Okay, sir.
distend this bladder, it is without passing, already as Oswald sir told, without passing the urine, if you do a cystoscopy with normal flow and distend it up to the 500 ml, it will got red within a second. So you should
Yes,
go in with very slow flow, examine the bladder before empty. If you empty, if it is a tuberculosis or if it is a radiation, everything will be red. Nothing can be seen.
Yes, sir.
So Gopal, from what Gita sir is telling you, you have to get a hint. Once
Yes,
the
sir.
exam is started on interstitial cystitis, what all you will take precaution in interstitial cystitis, that you should keep in mind.
Yes, sir. We should not
Directly-
get hemorrhage. Yeah.
Gopal,
Due to
what
over-dissection,
I'm
otherwise.
saying is, if directly if you fill 500 ml and you empty, what will happen? You will get a full hemorrhage.
Yeah, sir. We will inflate slowly, sir, with the while during cystoscopy
So
only.
see, once the questions
Yes,
have
sir.
started in Aussie pattern, you
Yes,
have understood from the first two questions that this is related to interstitial cystitis.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because it
So-
already asked you about minor criteria, major criteria,
Yes, sir.
and principles of cystoscopy. So in these principles, these should have come. Like Oswald sir said that you empty the bladder and go, then slow filling, studying the bladder. You know it's a small capacity bladder,
Yes,
so
sir.
you should have mentioned that. So these principles are important while doing cystoscopy, specifically to interstitial cystitis.
Yes, sir.
Hello, can I make a comment?
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is Prashant Mulavkar. Now, if you have a patient where you are suspecting interstitial cystitis from the symptomatology, which anesthesia you will give for the cystoscopy in this patient?
General anesthesia.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to do general anesthesia? Would you like to give him
General anesthesia with the muscle relaxant, sir.
Would you like to give him regional anesthesia?
No, sir.
Would you like
Because it can stimulate the obturator reflex, sir.
Where is the question of you are not going to resect anything?
Gopal. Discussion is going on interstitial cystitis.
Yes, sir.
You have a
Where
patient
is the question of obturator reflex? First, understand what sir is asking and reply.
Yes, sir.
The main motive of asking this question is, if you are suspecting interstitial cystitis, you might as well do bladder hyperdistension.
Yes, sir.
For that, and you will need an anesthesia which will be reasonably prolonged, and in such cases, a regional anesthesia would be better. Of course, routinely we are doing these procedures under short general anesthesia, but in those patients, if you give a short general anesthesia, that anesthesia is short lasting.
Yes.
So you cannot do effective bladder hyperdistension if you do this procedure in a short general anesthesia.
Yes,
So
sir.
if a patient where you are suspecting interstitial cystitis, you have a very strong doubt, then you should be giving a regional anesthesia, because in those patients you would be giving bladder hyperdistension, and probably you will also be giving intravesical drugs to these patients.
Yes,
So what Mulavkar sir is telling is related to the treatment of interstitial cystitis.
Yes.
Hydrogestation is a part of the treatment of interstitial cystitis. If you
Yes, sir.
want to diagnose the interstitial cystitis in initial phase, I don't think there is need of over distension of bladder.
Correct.
Yes, I agreed.
Okay, so I will just tell everyone, please
Sir,
understand, there are two aspects, just understand. Depends upon the examiner what he is asking. If he asks you how you do a normal cystoscopy, then you say that first of all, I will like him to pass urine or she pass urine. I will what anesthesia I like to give, your justification, and then how will you do? You will empty the bladder, you will see everything, because you are not doing for interstitial cystitis, you are just doing a cystoscopy, which can be for anything. Then you go step by step, that you will empty the blood, you will see the what is the residual urine, you will go thoroughly, you will see indite, ureteric orifices, lateral wall, right lateral, left lateral, dome. Then you will distend it till you feel that it is totally distended under the low pressure. And then you will see the how much is the capacity. You empty it, and then immediately you will again distend it to see whether there are multiple petricial hemorrhages or not. This is what I am talking you is about normal cystoscopy. But when this case is given and the examiner asks you, how will you do cystoscopy in this patient? Then you must say, keeping in mind that it is interstitial cystitis and what mistake you will not make. Okay? So please understand what examiner is asking you and answer accordingly. Fine? Okay?
Yes.
Sir, just as per the NIDDK criteria, the cystoscopy should be done for 1 to 2 minutes. The distension should be done at 80 to 100 centimeters of water.
Yeah.
Process should be repeated twice,
Yes.
and then only the number of glomerulations for major criteria should be calculated.
See, if it is a severe interstitial
So that is just
cystitis,
one thing.
immediately it will come. But if it is just the beginning, okay, and the
It has-
capacity has not decreased, then you have to do couple of times. So this also you have to say.
So
if you
Gopal,
are
basically
suspecting-
after Tanvi is saying, we should, in the principles, you should mention that 1 to 2 minutes and 80 to 100 centimeter of water.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
That is for the major criteria.
Before
Okay, what
mentioning
is
the criteria.
Yes, sir.
Pentosan is a pentosone polysulfonate drug. It is actually anticoagulant, but having the analgesic property. It's given orally for the treatment of interstitial cystitis as a conservative management, twice or thrice a day before or 1 or 2 after the meal. It gives the significant decrease in the symptom and the pain.
For how many days, how many weeks, how many months?
Sir, it is given for the 6 weeks to 3 months. And if there is no improvement, then we will
it is
switch
given
on the
usually
other
up to
therapy.
6 months. That is number one.
Yeah.
Second thing is, what are the percentage benefits?
Sir, it is around the 30 to 40% improvement in the symptom.
Right. So before starting pentosan, what you will like to give? You will directly go on a pentosan?
Sir, cystopen tablet cystopen.
No. We like to give amitriptyline. Amitriptyline is also one of the drugs which you can start.
Sir, amitriptyline.
Yes,
Yeah,
amitriptyline.
yeah,
Yes.
sir. 10 milligram HS, sir. That is also given as a treatment. We can escalate
The
dose.
ideal dose is 25 milligram 3 times
Yes, sir.
a day. But
Yes,
with
sir.
this, patient will be totally count off.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
normally what we do, we start with 10 milligram once a
HS.
day, because most of the patients are benefited by that. If it is not effective, make it 2, make it 3. Still,
Yes, sir. Up to 50 milligram.
Yeah, some people will require 25 milligram 2 to 3 times a day.
Yes.
Fine. Now, final question, you tell me that when you take a biopsy, what you will see?
Sir, Hunner's ulcers, the mast cell proliferation, and the interstitial inflammation.
Suppose if you don't get all these things, still you'll get something else and you can diagnose?
Sir, mast
cells. And
mast cells, sir. Yes.
So, yes, lymphocytic infiltration.
Lymphocytic infiltration. Yes, sir.
And mast cells, and you may get.
I don't remember, sir, but body is also seen in that histopathology.
Yeah, Tanvi, what we get normally, mast cells, plasma cells, and eosinophilic infiltration. See,
Yes,
if you get lymphocyte is very common, but if you get eosinophilic infiltration, mast cells, and if you get plasma cells, then you should always think of, it is not confirmatory of any disease, but it's a chronic cystitis, and you must give interstitial cystitis. Okay, then we go ahead.
I think somebody's voice is coming in the background. If I'm not able to make out.
I think Dr. Ajay Oswal from your. Okay, next.
This is your second slide. Can you see it, Gopal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gopal, see it carefully.
Yes,
Yeah,
again.
carefully.
Sir, this is the pessary. X-ray showing the pessary, and this is cystoscope.
Hmm.
And
X-ray pelvis, and the ring. Ring is there.
anything else you can see?
Where is the ring and where is the pessary then?
What is this? Can you see my arrow?
Yeah.
What is
What
this?
is this?
Sir, I don't. What?
What are the two tubes? Which are the two tubes, beta? You put it every day.
Yeah.
What is that?
Digestant, Baba, bolo.
Yes, sir. That is digested. Yes.
Bilateral
कितना
digestion.
time
Bilateral,
बता
yes.
रहे हो?
Yes, sir.
तुम यूरोलॉजी भूल मत जाओ, बाकी सब नहीं बोलोगे तो चलेगा, लेकिन यूरोलॉजी तो
And what is this along with the DJ stands?
This is a pessary. Ring pessary.
Or a ring? Yes.
A ring pessary.
Okay.
So tell us, what are the indications? Why it is done?
Sir, it is done in the cases of the stage urinary incontinence associated with the mild prolapse, or it can be given as a treatment for the only stage urinary incontinence.
So why bilateral digestion?
Sir, it can be due to obstructive uropathy
Why?
with the.
Why
Listen,
obstructive uropathy?
Listen, Gopal.
Yes, sir.
Whenever there is a prolapse, grade 2, grade 3, there is a pulling of the VUJ
Yes,
and
sir.
forms the J hooking of the both the ureter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that J hooking acts as an obstructive point leads to the bilateral hydronephrosis.
Yes.
Until and otherwise you treat that prolapse, that will not get straighter.
Yes.
But probably that patient may not be fit or patient don't want treatment. That's why they have placed the ring pacing.
Yes.
The placing the ring pacing is temporary job.
Yes.
Okay. So if you remove the stent, then hydronephrosis will increase.
Yes, sir.
So the primary treatment in such patient is first treat the prolapse and then remove the stent and check for the direction of that J hooking. This is the story in short.
Yes.
Primary and definitive treatment.
Yes.
I'll just add to this. The definitive treatment is to treat
Yes.
the prolapse. This was just done temporarily.
And believe me, in so many earlier I used to stand with a gynecologist, but over the period we have seen that even if you don't stent it, in most of the cases, unless and until creatinine has increased, it is deranged. If you don't do it, if you just do a proper repair and keep the catheter little longer, everything goes well.
settles down.
You don't require even DJ stenting. Earlier,
Sir,
I also used to do the
This
DJ
case
stenting.
referred from gynecology
Yeah.
with deranged renal function and bilateral hydronephrosis.
Correct. No, that's what I'm saying. Severe deranged, you have to do it. Okay, enumerate other options of treatment.
Sir, we can offer this pelvic floor muscle exercises for the condition, or we
This
can.
Where it will work, man. That
No,
is
sir. We have to surgically treat this condition. The prolapse repair.
Gopal, you are given this case. Your answer should be this is probably grade 2, grade 3 or more prolapse.
Yes.
And patient must be having bilateral hydronephrosis, hydroureter. That is why DJ stenting is done.
Yes.
These are the patients cannot be treated medically. They require surgical intervention.
So basically, what is the treatment of prolapse, Gopal?
Sir, birth colpo suspension.
So can't you say, can it be done open surgery or laparoscopy?
Open or laparoscopic.
But that was what was expected.
Yes, sir.
So enumerate options of treatment. Come on, fast.
Yes, sir. We can use the surgical birch or this laparoscopic colpo suspension. We can do the sacrospinous fixation. Or sir, we can do hysterectomy also if the patient is postmenopausal and the at the time same the repair of the prolapse.
And per vaginal, there is no.
Sir, colpoclysis.
Tell us all the different.
Enumerate, Gopal.
Either start open surgery and laparoscopic in open transvaginal or intra-abdominal. Like that you can tell us.
Yes, sir. We can. Yes, sir.
So Gopal, very simply, first read the different types of surgeries for colpo suspension.
Yes,
but here your answer should be in mild cases, whatever those pelvic floor physiotherapy and all that you will do. Okay, feedback. Secondly, you will in grade 2, grade 3 prolapse, it can be repaired either surgically, vaginal or abdominal, or laparoscopically.
Yes, sir.
In laparoscopic, and then uterus preserving and uterus removal.
Yes, sir.
So if there is uterus is preserved, you will do colpo suspension. If the patient is already postmenopausal, you will do hysterectomy.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So I'll just tell you the classification. Please.
Go ahead.
Anterior compartment, you can have, if anterior compartment prolapse is there, you can do anterior colporrhaphy or vaginal paravaginal repair.
Correct.
Then you can do augmented mesh repair, abdominal paravaginal repair, and sling operation. And if it is posterior compartment prolapse, you can do posterior colporrhaphy. If it is apical compartment prolapse, you will do bolt suspension with, or you can do sacrospinous ligament fixation, or you can do abdominal sacrocolpopexy. And lastly, you can do colpoclysis, total colpoclysis, partial colpoclysis, and hysteropexy. And as last sir said, hysterectomy.
Yeah.
remember these names, and somebody
These
has
are just
written
the names
Kana
for
operation
Osti.
and Purandare operation and sacrocolpopexy.
Yeah. And name the classification system. Oh, sorry. Name the
Pelvic
classification system.
pelvic organ prolapse. This classification system done
Correct.
for the prolapse.
PopQ.
Opcus.
This is the diagram from Campbell. This is the classification system.
So, Gopal,
Yes,
that
sir.
gynecologist has placed the pessary which help in making the genital tract in position, except
Yes.
that pessary doesn't have any role.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where it is indicated, either old age and associated comorbidity,
Patients, if it is unfit or
unfit for surgery or
not
don't want
willing,
surgery.
not willing for surgery.
Yeah, these are the only two conditions.
Yes, sir.
But that pessary doesn't cure UV problem.
Yes, sir. This is temporary measure only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I go ahead, sir?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
please.
that completes your answer. Temporary in unfit patient and not willing. Simple.
Yes. Yes.
But all these things come in within 1 minute. You should finish
Yes,
it
sir.
off.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Dr. Maheshwar, you want to ask any question?
No, Dr. Gaurangsha. I think it's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gopal, for answering.
thank you,
You
sir.
had two tough questions.
Yes.
Okay, Gaurav, are you unmuted?
Yes. Am I audible?
We have somebody new. We have Gaurav with us. He's done his residency from Kolkata and he has volunteered to answer. So you're very much welcome, Dr. Gaurav. This is your first table.
He's answering for the first time and you are giving him such a difficult thing. No problem. Go on. Gaurav, go ahead.
This is a very welcome.
Yes.
Today it's all JJ Hospital, Geete sir's photo.
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
out of...
government hospital.
Yes, sir. Gaurav?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I go ahead with the questions?
Yes.
Have you seen? Okay. Spot the diagnosis, please.
So I want to put a differential diagnosis in form of multiple sebaceous cyst, or in the it may be genital wart in the form of giant condyloma acuminata. Means a busky low intense tumor, sir. Giant condyloma acuminata.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. We can hear Gaurav. We can hear you.
Okay, sir. And so the causal agent will be a human papilloma virus, sir. And in giant condyloma acuminata, usually it is HPV 6 and 11.
Now someone has asked about filariasis. Do you think this filariasis can give similar picture?
Sir, this is the multiple patches appearance. In filariasis, there is a large enlargement along in this multiple foci will be not there. And
Correct.
less likely the filariasis.
Very good. Good answer.
Sir, treatment for this condition it is wide local surgical excision, and
Right,
indication
local surgical excision. Yeah, go ahead.
and indication.
I think
What's the
Nitin's someone is talking behind Nitin's.
No, some TV is going on. Somebody has to mute it.
Yes,
that is
sir.
one.
I've muted
Sir.
for now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And sir, for a podophylline indication, usually it is even in case of a pre-malignant lesion, which is small in size and it's situated in the glands. And dose will be the podophylline 0.5% solution, 0.5% ointment. And
How will you put it?
method of installation, sir, actually I has not used, but I read regarding the put the podophylline cream inside the condom and then wear the condom for I think 30 minutes to 1 hour and then remove it.
Mm-hmm. So then the whole thing will be affected.
Yes, sir.
If you do this,
Exact
then
methods
the
are I
remaining-
don't know.
you have to take care that you are not damaging the surrounding It should.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
Then sir,
Dr.
local
Pankaj bhai.
application only.
Somebody has written, sir, apply Vaseline to normal
Yeah,
area.
normal dip, but I'm telling you, it is very with the like small stick. You have to apply only on
Correct.
the lemma. And what else you can do? One is
So
the
another
photofiling. Second thing is
other is a photofiling, another is a imiquimod cream, sir. 5% imiquimod creams.
okay.
Or it may
That
be
is the local
pseudophile.
application.
Local
Anything else you
application.
can do?
Or sir, laser treatment in the form of sir Nd:YAG laser or CO2 laser therapy, sir.
Okay, laser is nowadays in olden time.
In the olden time,
Now you are doing laser. Earlier laser was not available. So what you will do?
wide local excision, sir.
Small one. How will you do it?
Cautery.
Cautery.
Baba, I'm telling you, when the examiner is giving you some hint, then you have to take it. Our time, all these things were so photofiling. If multiple are there, what used to happen? We had lots of problems to get it photofiling. Actually, that time pharmacies were available. So you have to go to a pharmacy and you have to get it prepared and you have to bring it. I'm talking about 30 years back. So only there are 2 or 3 Baikala pharmacy, Valli pharmacy, only 2-3 pharmacies. So that time, what we used to do, we used to give little local and then just cauterize
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yes.
So remember. So now tell us in sequence what else, what you can do. Start if there are not many. In this case, what you will do? In this case, you will do excision.
Wide local excision, and if there is a small lesions, we can use cautery or we can use a cream in the form of photofiling 0.5% cream and 5% imiquimod cream can be used. Or other option is laser therapy in the form of CO2 or Nd:YAG laser.
Oswald sir, you want to ask any question? Ajay bhai?
So there is 5-fluorouracil and
Yes.
thiotherapy also.
Yes.
In addition.
Correct.
Gitesh
sir, you want to ask any question?
No, sir.
Okay, can you enumerate the types of perineal
Types of-
urethrostomy in such a patient if you do excision?
In perineal urethrostomy, Blandis perineal urethrostomy, then 7-flap perineal urethrostomy, another is, and
Should I help him, sir?
Yeah, just tell him. Enumerate.
Percutaneous endoscopically guided perineal urethrostomy, the end urethral stump perineal urethrostomy, 7-flap perineal urethrostomy, grooved sound technique for perineal urethrostomy, Blandis posteriorly based scrotal inlay flap for perineal urethrostomy. Yeah, that is
You
it.
just enumerate it. Okay.
Yes.
Because you are not given more than 4 to 5 minutes.
yes, sir.
Yes, Prashant bhai, you want to ask any question?
I think he got muted again.
Just unmute them.
Yes,
सबको
sir.
unmute कर दो.
Yes, क्या था?
Yeah,
Prashant bhai?
somebody is muting me again and again, but I never knew that there are so many types of perineal urethrostomy. So it's enlightening for me also. Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And Ajay, you want to ask anything?
What was the histopathology of this?
Yeah.
Gitesh, sir.
Gitesh sir, what was the histopathology?
Condylomata acuminata.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Good.
This is, I think, the final picture
Yeah.
after sir has operated him.
Good.
This is your next slide, Dr. Gaurav.
Yes.
Let me know when you're done.
Bro, you are doing very well, huh? Go ahead.
Should I show you the question?
Yes.
Can you give a differential diagnosis for the above
Condition.
that you saw?
Sir, it may be epididymal cyst, or it may be spermatocele, or it may be varicocele, or it may be
वेरिकोसिल ऐसा ग्लोबुलर कैसे रहेगा? लोकलाइज्ड स्वेलिंग कैसे रहेगी वेरिकोसिल की?
No, it will be dilated and tortuous vein. Then it
So
maybe sir hernia.
how
Yes.
how it is possible hernia? That may be hernia of hydrocele हो सकता है.
Yeah. Encysted hydrocele of
लेकिन
cord.
क्लासिकल hernia नहीं रहेगा क्योंकि inguinal region में कुछ
Inguinal
भी
region
नहीं.
is not. Yes.
See, beta, see.
Here,
what
if you
is-
go a little systematic, right, hemiscrotum is swollen up, right? So if you tell scrotal swellings and testicular swellings,
That's all.
simple. Go
Yes.
ahead now. I've given you the hint. Now, what can be the scrotal swellings?
Scrotal swelling, sir. It may be lipoma.
Hmm?
Then
Lipoma?
lipoma.
Okay.
Then sir epidermal cyst.
Yeah.
Then spermatocele.
Hmm.
Okay.
Or maybe hydrocele of
Hydrocele,
encysted
hematocele.
hydrocele of cord. Encysted hydrocele of cord.
Okay.
Then
It may be
Paraepidermal.
primary vaginal hydrocele,
Yeah.
hematocele, spermatocele,
Simple
epididymal
things you should
cyst,
talk about.
testicular tumor.
paraepidermal cyst.
जो रूटीन है वो पहले बोलो ना यार.
The simple things, if you don't talk first, if you start talking about varicocele, then examiner gets little. How many times
Irritated.
varicocele presents like this? So simple hydrocele, encysted hydrocele of the cord, epididymal cyst, large one. Then this thing, pyocele, it can be, hematocele, it can be. Then you go to testicular swelling. It can be large epididymal orchitis. It can be testicular tumor.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Okay.
Good. Here, the lie of the organ is horizontal.
Correct.
So we have to keep torsion as one of the possibility,
Yes, one of
although it may not be.
Agreed, sir.
Horizontal lie of the organ. Only thing is, in a torsion, the swelling will not be of this much magnitude. The swelling will be much less than this.
Plus, it will be tense and maybe angry, inflamed.
Yeah.
How will you
Then-
determine? Sorry.
Sir, for determination of clinical organ of origin, I would like to do sir a cough test to look whether it is urine from the inguinal canal or not. And
Yes.
another will be I would like to palpate
So
the
you will
swelling.
differentiate between inguinal scrotal and scrotal swelling.
Scrotal
First,
swelling, yeah. First.
second test.
Second test, I would like to examine the scrotum proper to look whether the testis can be separately felt or not.
So fluctuation you will do whether there is any free fluid in the scrotum.
Fluctuation and translumination test I would like to do.
Fluctuation, transillumination, and
Transillumination.
separate palpation of testis and cord surface.
So go very systematically. You say
Correct.
I will like to examine patient in standing and lying down position. First
Yeah,
of all,
that's
I
true. Very
like him
important
to
point.
say coughing, whether it is inguinoscrotal or only scrotal, and I will find out by impulse on cough. I will find out whether I can go above the swelling or not. Then I will find out whether the testis is separate from this swelling or not. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So all points of examination
and
are
then-
important.
and
Standing,
then
lying down,
fluctuation and
about,
transillumination.
yeah. So all these points are important. Standing, lying down, cough impulse, that is inspection, then palpation going above the test, fluctuation, transillumination, palpation.
Yes, sir.
What is your investigation of choice to diagnose this patient?
Ultrasonography.
Do you want to add
Or-
some to it?
Ultrasonography of the scrotum plus inguinal
Color
region
Doppler.
and
Yes.
color to see the vascularity and
Okay. What is the treatment of choice for one?
So if the condition will be the torsion of testis, then I would like to explore him and I will look for
You
the
have already
where-
given differential diagnosis. I agree with you. All these things are possible. But do you think by looking at this, it is a torsion? Just say yes or no.
No, sir.
No. Do you think it
Because
is a malignancy of testes?
Not like this, sir.
Let's
Why?
So most yeah. Tell us why.
Because sir, just not generally in malignancy, the majority time the left scrotal is enlarged, and there will be loss of frugosity will be also there, and
Right
there is
scrotum
a
is enlarged ना.
Right scrotum enlarged है ना बाबा?
left ही enlarged होना जरूरी है. Right भी हो सकता है.
No, no.
yeah. right scrotum is also enlarged.
It's not a valid point.
Can you just see below? Can you just see why I am telling you? Can you just see below?
What is that sir is showing at the below of the scrotum? Sir is showing
below.
Midline raphe.
No, loss of rugosity you said, no?
Yeah, the rugosity is present.
Sir, down there you see.
Yeah, but at the same time, something like as a transsimulation, how you see similar that it is there. But anyway, what you are saying is right. It can be suppose malignancy or it can be non-malignant. Okay, now it is not a
You
malignancy.
cannot completely rule it out on examination. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You have to say that it is most likely your scrotal swelling. Sir, I will evaluate for that.
ऐसा बोला तो चलेगा कि considering the redness of the skin at the base of the scrotum of scrotal swelling,
yeah,
it may be looks like inflammatory.
Inflammatory. You can say that.
ऐसा बोल सकते.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now just enumerate the treatment as your differential diagnosis, one by one.
And if the condition will be the epidermal orchitis, I will like to treat it conservatively with scrotal supports and antibiotic. And if I'm analgesics, and if the patient is having a torsion of testes,
important thing in epidermal orchitis, you should rule out residual urine.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Why the causes of the epidermis will you treat?
Yeah.
And,
second, you are talking of torsion.
Torsion of testes, then I would like to immediate extrusion of testes.
Yeah, bolo Ajay bhai.
What I suggest here is, instead of asking him treatment of each and every condition, let Dr. Tanvi give him the diagnosis of this patient and then ask the surgical treatment of that condition, rather than going through the whole theory lecture of all the conditions and all the operations.
Tanvi bolo na kya
diagnosis?
Okay, Tanvi. Yeah, Gita sir, what was the diagnosis?
Testicular tumor था sir.
Okay.
Which side?
Right side.
So now Dr. Gaurav, tell us the treatment of testicular tumor on right side.
Hello, Ajay. Testicular tumor पहली बात तो उसका एज बताओ और मार्कर बताओ.
Sir, actually this time we have planned OSCE pattern because our exam.
Yeah, Prashant bhai, we already discussed all the cases, so we don't want to go into too much details of that.
So this is like table viva, so we are going according to point wise.
Okay. That is why. Because we already.
Dr. Tanvi, what is OSCE pattern?
Sir, OSCE pattern is this new way in which DNB is planning to take our exam. Where
Sir, because of this COVID situation, probably they are not able to take physical exam.
No, what is long form of OSCE? OSCE.
Objective something case examination exam. I will tell you the full form, sir. Can we continue the viva? I'll just
objective.
Find out.
Okay, proceed.
I will just find it out.
Some treatment of this condition on right side testicular tumor after proper evaluation for all general workup and tumor marker. I will counseling the patient for right side high inguinal archidectomy.
Yeah, it is called observed structured clinical examination.
Objective structured clinical examination.
Clinical examination.
First of all, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it is like asking the student go and show the palpation of kidney, and that examiner doesn't have to say single word. He has to just observe what he is doing, and there are some points like how he goes to the patient, how he explains the procedure, how he introduces himself to the patient, then how he does the examination. All these have small marks like half mark, 1 mark. Without knowing him, give the marks, and that is the exactly meaning of OSCE pattern. So now what we are discussing is the spot diagnosis, spotting plus OSCE combination.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, Gaurav. Can you just, the most important 3-4 DDs, can you just tell us quickly your treatment of choice?
Treatment of choice for this right side carcinoma.
Gaurav, sir, I suggest to give each DD and let me answer.
I will ask you one question, you answer me. Yes. It is epidermal orchitis, what we will do?
Conservative treatment, scrotal support, antibiotic and anti-inflammatory drugs.
If it is a tumor, testicular tumor, what we will do?
High inguinal archidectomy, sir.
If it is a torsion, what you will do?
Immediate exploration and try to derotate and
Within
warm
how much
compression.
time?
Within 6 hours, sir. Within 6 hours.
If it is a hydrocele or epidermal cyst, what you will, if it is a hydrocele, primary tunica vagina is hydrocele, what you will
And
do?
sir, Jabul is sec eversion.
And if it is epidermal cyst, what you will do?
I will let it conservative, sir. Follow him.
Such a big one. Such a big one. It is
If the patient is symptomatic, then sir, I will excision of the cyst. Excision.
Yes, excision. And what you will tell the patient? Before that, what you will do? Before doing hydrocele surgery, or what you will tell the patient medico-legally?
For medical legal purpose. Sir.
Yeah. You like to do semen examination. Yeah? And the second is someone has talked about recurrence. Yes. Okay. Maheshwari sir, you want to ask anything? You want to add something?
Sir, the internet has gone away again.
Oh.
It might not be there.
Okay. And then the thing. Prashant bhai, you want to ask anything?
No. Good enough.
No, here now we have already finished our 20 long all cases, step by step. So now we are, because we are also not, this is the first time the exam is going to be.
Okay.
So in next 2-3 sittings we want to find out, and we want to train them. They just answer one thing.
It's coming. I can ask. Let start the next case. Yes.
Okay. Start.
Yeah, Gaurav?
Yeah. I've seen it.
Please see the image. Let me know when you are done.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Identify and describe the above procedure.
This is a procedure of a testicular biopsy. It is done in case of a patient of infertility presenting with azoospermia with a normal testicular volume and presence of VAS with no any anti-sperm antibody. And for the different techniques is available for
after seeing the picture, you should be very clear in telling the answer, because there is no any incision there. Okay, no any incision there, and there is some thread like
this is the seminiferous tubule,
which was fixed by the forceps.
Have some short forms, no? Some TE.
TE as testicular sperm aspiration.
Aspiration हो सकता है, needle biopsy हो सकता है.
Yes, sir. It is a testicular sperm aspiration.
Correct. What can you describe the procedure quickly in just 3 to 4 sentences? How you will do this procedure?
After fixing the testis with the hand and.
Before that, what will do?
Sorry, sir.
Before that, what you will do? You clean, prepared everything. You're done.
No. How will you clean it?
With the betadine, sir.
And will the betadine remain there, or you would like to wash it out?
I will wash it out before taking biopsy. We will wash it. It's a normal saline. We wipe it.
Yeah, there should not be any betadine remaining there because betadine is spermatotoxic. Because this you are doing for a surgical sperm retrieval for infertility. So there should not be any betadine. Your gloves there should not be any powder on your gloves. You should either be using a powder-free gloves, or you should wash your hands with saline after you have donned the gloves. It's very important.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay. After that.
Sir, an assistant will be the fix the testis on the finger. And,
before that, anything else? You are doing under which anesthesia?
Under sir, spinal anesthesia.
No, this is done under cord block, man.
Local anesthesia will do.
Local cord block.
Why you want to give spinal anesthesia?
Okay, cord block or local anesthesia.
What will you use in the cord, sir? If you could just tell us for the students for the cord block.
Yes, what will you use?
You're asking me or the student?
No, I was asking you, sir.
Yeah. No, see, this is this we do with the 1% xylocaine with the 26 gauge needle, which is around 2.5 1/2 inch 26 gauge needle. Most important thing is once you inject the local anesthesia there, somebody should be applying pressure there for at least 10 minutes. Otherwise, the hematoma forms and the anesthesia also is not very good. So you have to apply pressure for 10 minutes by clock. So what I usually do is I give a block and then I go and scrub for the procedure and then I come back. By that time, usually 10 minutes are over and then we start this procedure.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and this is done with the 18 gauge Scalfen set. And if you want me to ask, describe the procedure,
No, let him describe.
Fine.
Then you correct him.
Fine, yeah.
Yes, sir. After giving the cord block, after the cord block, we will fix the testis, and the testis will be just below the skin, and the epidermis we will put inside the posterior lateral wall, posterior side. And after that, with 26 gauge butterfly needle, we directly poke into the testis, and 2 to 3 poking, 2 to 3 pricking. After pricking, we will remove it and we will see whether seminiferous tubules comes with it. And when the seminiferous tubules comes out, by a traumatic forceps, we will.
If you just poke in a needle, how will the seminiferous tubule come out? Is there positive pressure inside the testis?
Simple. Have you seen the procedure done anywhere?
No, sir. I had not seen the procedure. Just right.
Okay.
Need to aspirate, na, Gaurav?
Yes. After butterfly needle, we will aspirate, and with negative pressure, we will remove the.
No, how will you? No. How will you do it? So what you will take? You will take 1 cc syringe, 2 cc syringe, 5 cc syringe, yeah, 10 cc syringe.
It is usually done with a 10 cc syringe, and the syringe should be containing the medium. It is very important. The syringe should be containing a medium, and the piston of the syringe, which has got a rubber on it, should not be touching the medium, because rubber of the syringe is itself a spermatotoxic again. So you have to use a syringe which is either a BD syringe where there is no rubber, or if you are using a Dispovan syringe, the rubber should not be touching the medium. Okay.
Yes.
Nowadays, I don't know, Prashant bhai,
yes,
but
sir.
We are here, now we are not getting that media, so we have to collect it into saline only, and then immediately send them.
Okay, no, we are getting a media in ample, no problem.
Yeah.
So we are also getting the media.
So just tell him what media we use.
Naam nahi malum.
Boyens, I think.
Boyens solution is the picric acid.
No.
Boyens is
Gaurang
picric acid.
Gaurang bhai, what you are taking Boyens media is for biopsy. It is for diagnosis. It is not used nowadays. What we do is we use this as diagnostic as well as therapeutic. So you take a media which is used for IVF. Yes, because whatever if you get a sperms in this procedure, you will be directly freezing that sample, and then you will stimulate the wife. So usually what we do is we combine the diagnostic as well as therapeutic procedure. That's the thing that is done today. There is no need of diagnosing presence of spermatogenesis on testicular biopsies nowadays.
Yes, Tejas is saying human.
If hospital is attached with well-equipped IVF center,
IVF lab, yes.
Yeah, and it is exactly what sir is telling is going on everywhere. But if it is not attached, and if you want to diagnose primary testicular failure versus secondary, then still testicular biopsy has some role. In spite of doing open testicular biopsy, the needle aspiration biopsy can be done. And that in government setup, still we were sending with in Boyens solution only. And for the diagnosis, we are doing a needle aspiration biopsy also. But what sir is telling is exactly nowadays going on.
Yeah, as per the guidelines.
Whatever you are telling is correct, sir.
What Gaurang Shah sir said, if there is availability problem, I remember Rupin Shah sir had said how to prepare it, but I don't remember how it is.
It is to be prepared with using a picric acid and formalin.
Correct.
Formaldehyde, but pathologists, everyone said now it is not prepared. We are not giving it. So you directly either put it into formalin, or if it is very nearby, then immediately you give us Tilavati, who knows because Rupin
Last
Shah
time
is
we had
looking
one
into it.
Leelavati boy, na?
Monish is Monish. Can I unmute you, please? For
Yeah,
a
just unmute him, let him answer.
Because
Just go.
Rupin Shah sir had clearly said how to prepare it.
Monish.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah,
Monish, how do you all collect it? In what
yeah.
way?
So we take the sperm culture media ready before before going for the procedure, and so we also flush the skin with a bit of culture media, because when the sperm comes in contact with the skin surface, so we flush the skin with the culture media. Then we use the scalp pen set, 18 gauge scalp pen set, connected to a 10 cc syringe, and so we introduce the needle only in one direction. Once we go in, we don't change the direction of the needle. We keep the needle fixed, and then we apply suction over the 10 cc syringe, and then apply artery forceps over the tubing of the scalp pen set, so that the suction in the needle is maintained. Then we gradually withdraw the needle so that the single seminiferous tubule comes out. Then we pull out the as much as the seminiferous tubule we can remove, and then cut the tubule, and then immediately transfer it into the culture media. Also, we flush the scalp pen set again for any residual sperm which is remaining inside the tubing or the scalp pen set. 2 times we flush it, and then we send to the IVF lab.
Good.
Do you have any idea about the name of the culture media by any chance?
Actually, I forgot, sir. And,
So never mind. At least you can message it to Tanvi. Tanvi, you can tell us.
Yeah, sure.
Or next time you can just tell us, Monish.
I think it is called as human tubal fluid medium or something.
Yeah, somebody
like that.
Tejas has already said human tubal fluid.
As in pressure over the testis is very important.
Yeah.
After the procedure, about 5 minutes, we directly apply pressure over the testis.
Very good.
Avoid any hematoma.
Thank you so much, Monish. You can mute yourself.
Thank you. Yeah.
Gaurav?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the other more accurate way of doing the above procedure? That is biopsy of testes?
Microscopic testicular sperm extraction, micro test.
Perfect.
Correct.
Very good. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Should I
Yes.
go
the
ahead?
next one. Yeah.
Okay, Gaurav, thank you so much for answering. Please come again
you,
next time. Paras, I am
Paras, unmute
unmuting
yourself.
you. Hi, Paras. Paras is
Hello.
from Jaslok,
Yes.
for those who don't know. And this is your first, I'm just playing a video. Okay?
Yes.
Do you want me to play it again?
No.
Okay. Paras, I'll just give you one point which you need to know. This patient has history of trauma. Okay?
Okay.
So, what is the study and what do you feel is the diagnosis according to this study?
This study is retrograde pyelogram RGP, and in this picture I am identified the calyx, and the dia contrast media is going outside the kidney, most probably injury to the pelvic leaching system in the lower pole, sir.
You see, I'm delineating pelvic elevation system to identify the calyx where the trauma is occurring.
Yes, sir. Gite sir,
You can go little ahead. You can say it is a bifid system and
correct.
Yes, sir.
And in the lower, and there is a extravasation of a dye, or it is going in the lower calyx, from the lower calyx.
Yes, sir. Gite sir, actually this is his patient. So, sir, anything specific you know about, I mean, in the diagnosis, or is it fine? This is it.
Yeah. Whatever he is telling is correct.
Is
It is RGP, and the contrast is extravasating from the lower pole calyx with
Okay.
biped system.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Okay. Can you classify the grades of trauma, renal trauma?
Classification of the renal trauma. Grade 1 is the contusion. which is non-expanding contusion. Grade 2 is contusion or laceration, and contusion involving more than 50% of the area, and laceration which is less than 1 centimeter in the cortex. Grade 3 is laceration which is more than 1 centimeter in the cortex without injury to pelvic laceral system. Injury of the pelvic laceral system involving the grade 4, and grade 5 involve the shattered kidney or injury to the renal hilum, are completely devascularization of the renal system is grade 5.
And can you tell us the name of this classification or grading?
American
Yeah, correct.
ASA system.
Correct.
Can you say now each condition you
Yes,
just
sir.
tell us?
Each
Each condition you tell us.
Sir is saying management of each classification, each type of
Sir,
injury.
great.
Don't go too much in detail. Just
Yes, sir.
tell us.
Sir, trauma in detail, sir, I will explain. Sir, depending upon the type of trauma, whether it's a blunt or penetrating trauma, in cases of, sir, I will first explain the blunt trauma. Blunt trauma, sir, involving only the renal system or involving the multi-organ. If involving the only system with only renal system with hemodynamically stable patient with no gross hematuria or microscopic hematuria, and the renal grading, which is done by CECT, and it is up to 1 to 3 grade. Normally, it has to be managed conservatively, sir. In conservative management, it should be have adequate complete bed rest and complete bed rest, stabilization of the vitals, and it stabilization while there should be no drop in the hemoglobin, and hematuria should subside along with the antibiotic coverage. In case of grade 4 injury, where there is injury to pelvic laceral system, we have to be managed accordingly. If it is only a small amount of leakage, we can try the retrogrades, and patient is vitally stable. We should try the DJ stunting, and if it is involving other organs and the patient is already explored for laparotomy for other condition, and there is a open repair of the pelvic laceral system, and in case of
how easy open repair?
Yes, sir.
How easy open repair?
Sir, open repair has to be done with the complete.
Suppose there is ileal injury, general surgeon is opening for ileal injury, and there is a gross retroperitoneal hematoma, perinephric hematoma. So, do you want to explore or you don't want to explore?
Sir, hematoma, only thing is that while, sir, manipulating the hematoma, there is sudden loss of the blood pressure, which should be taken care of.
So you can say that it is a stable. If it is a stable hematoma, patient.
Why you want to open
why
the
you want to touch
retroperitoneum?
it?
Yes, sir.
If at all there is no specific indication for opening the retroperitoneum,
why you want to touch it?
Just because general surgeon is opening the abdomen, that's why you want to open the retroperitoneum.
The minute you touch it, you are infecting it. If it is stable hematoma, so many times after PCNL, we see hematoma. What we do?
As far as current literature is concerned, grade 5, grade 1 to grade 5, all type of injuries, all type of blood injuries can be considered, provided that there should not be expanding hematoma, there should not be downgoing hematocrit. Patient should be hemodynamically stable.
This is what I was saying. Expanding hematoma. If there was just leak from pelvic laceral system, you can even stent the patient and forget it. Let general surgeon do ileal injury.
Yes.
Yes,
why
sir,
you want to? Because he's opening, you should touch it. That is not a correct explanation.
Yes, sir. We should not explore the stable retroperitoneal hematoma. So second is last is grade 5 injury. Sir, in grade 5 injury, the most important is the condition of the opposite kidney. We have to be very sure, either with a single shot IVP or with a CECT. If opposite kidney is we should do the nephrectomy of that patient, and it is done in only those cases where the patient is vitally unstable.
Indications of surgery in blunt trauma to kidney.
I think he already answered it.
Just enumerate.
Sir, indication of blunt surgery in blunt trauma. First is unstable patient. Second is rapid loss of decrease in the hemoglobin, and third is despite of failure of the conservative management. Fourth is the conservative management associated with the infective pathology. Infections occur, then we have to do, sir, some sort of surgery.
Now what you are saying, that only you forgot. Other organ injury.
Yes, sir.
That
Other
is also
organ
indication for surgery.
And how will you explore?
Yes, sir.
How will you explore?
Sir, in cases of trauma, always the midline laparotomy is indicated, sir.
Yes, because
Direct control of vessel.
early control of correct.
Yes, sir. Ulti control plus
The other
we
organ.
can do the inspection of whole
Dr.
organ.
Paras,
Yes.
Dr.
You want to ask
Paras,
anything? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Dr.
Yes,
Paras,
Ajay bhai,
अजय बोलो.
okay.
अजय भाई बोलो. अजय भाई बोलो.
why did you do the RGP first in a case of trauma?
Sir, in this patient,
अजय उसने नहीं किया, उसको पूछा गया रे.
So I am asking him, why would you do it?
sir, normally we not do, sir. Now CT is
Normally, what is the first investigation?
sir, first investigation in blunt trauma abdomen is USG abdomen to look for any free fluid, any other things, and based on the finding of fast, then we proceed with CECT, sir, abdominal pelvis, sir.
So when
Sir, this RGP is not done as a primary. Sir, I will answer. This patient is of me. RGP is not done as a primary investigation. Sir.
इतने को बोलने देना भाई.
जी जी जी.
Yes, sir.
मैं मुझे लगा कि आपको प्राइमरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं किया था, इतना ही बताना है.
वो मुझे मालूम है गीते सर.
जी 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 जी. Okay.
Paras, you answer.
Answer Paras.
In exam, this is given to you, and the examiner is asking you, okay, will you do this test when the patient has come? You answer.
No, sir. Sir, I will go with the ultrasound and
yeah. So when you will do this? When
sir,
you will do
this is in case of delayed presentations, where there is a collection of the fluid in the retroperitoneum, or there is because of the urinoma formation.
Delayed Paras, delayed also you have done a contrast enhanced CT or you have done sonography. Before putting stent, won't you put contrast to see where the leakage is? Because there is a bifid system, you want to see where you place your stent. No?
So Paras, this is not a diagnostic investigation. This is a therapeutic intervention.
Correct. Now we are coming to that.
RGP done as the first part.
Yes,
yes
sir.
Thank you, sir.
We were all trying to get an answer from you.
Paras.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is single shot IVP?
Sir, single shot IVP is an investigation which is done in cases of trauma to the abdomen involving the renal system, and patient is hemodynamically unstable, and the patient has to be explored. This is done to evaluate the opposite renal kidney, whether it is functioning well or not.
How it is done? How will you do it? You have a patient who is hemodynamically unstable, and the patient is being taken for exploration by general surgeon. You are being called in the operation theater. How will you do a single shot IVP on that patient? How much contrast you will give? When will you take X-ray?
Sir, X-ray has to be a contrast. First, the non-any contrast is to be taken.
How much?
About, sir,
how much?
Sir, 20 ml of the contrast is to be taken.
No, as far as I know, it is 100 ml. But I may not be correct.
CECT, sir.
So the
but it's 100 ml.
1 to 2 ml per kg body weight. So approximately 100 ml is correct.
100 ml, yes.
Yes, sir. So everybody is saying 2 ml per kg.
Yes, yes.
So it's 100 ml.
Yes,
100 ml.
50 kg.
सोचने का नहीं.
अरे भाई 10 ml में कुछ नहीं दिखाई देगा.
उसका
That also you are going to see in CM. Next to impossible.
10 ml
आपका वेन भी नहीं दिखेगा.
Yes.
Yes,
so what answer is given is
And when will you take the X-ray? Single X-ray you are going to take? How much time?
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
के बाद? I think it is 10 minutes, but I am not very sure. अभी
Sir,
मेरा theory से ज़्यादा इसका कम रहा नहीं है.
5 minutes is nephrogenic phase. and then
No,
another
it is.
5 minutes.
It has to be single shot. Single shot.
Yes, sir.
I think it is 10 minutes.
20
minutes.
में wash out हो जाएगा.
Check कर लेना.
10 minutes should be okay.
Check it.
Paras,
Check it in the book.
Dr. Paras, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Paras, one more thing I heard from you was you would explore the patient if there is PC system badly injured. I think even for bad injuries of PC system, exploration and open repair is nearly impossible.
Stent.
You end up putting it in a stent, and if stent doesn't solve the problem, then probably a perinephric drain for pus collection or urinoma. But open repair of PC system injury is virtually unheard of in blunt renal trauma or even stab injuries of the kidney. So
Stent
correct
with
the question.
drain should solve the problem completely.
Pardon?
Supporting what you're saying, stent with perinephric drain should solve the problem.
So Paras, don't say exploration in the examination for PC system injury.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Now it is changed, Paras. It is not.
In
no
spite
more-
of PC system injury, you can tell if there is a what I have done 2-3 cases as a primary exploration, pelvic injury, complete disconnection of the pelvis from the ureter.
Isolated.
That's what. That we have to try initially with stenting. If it is a partial injury, stent may go, stent may not go. If it is complete, then we have to explore and repair. No other option.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. I think so. Everything is very clear. People have said in bits
And what
pieces.
Muralkar sir is saying is it is a 10-minute film only. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And in exam, you
Single shot
answer,
IUP 10-minute film.
yeah, but in exam you will say, okay, provided this patient is taken in emergency and CT scan is not done.
Yes,
If the
sir.
CT scan is done and it is already showing the opposite kidney is functioning, you will not do it. But if the patient is not in a good condition and in emergency, you are taking him for exploration, you will do this on the patient. Okay?
Such
Yes.
situation can come also. We had one patient when we were postgraduate Rahul sir's patient. Patient had a stab injury. Somebody stabbed him. So there was no time to do CT also. We had to go straight to the OT from ambulance, and then nephrectomy he landed up. Young fellow, 20 years old.
Okay. Tell us, what is this?
Paras,
Yes, sir.
you should I go to the questions?
No. Give me some minute.
Don't finish the surgery, huh, Paras?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, questions, please.
Okay.
So, what is your diagnosis?
This is a case of failed hypospadias repair with fistula formation.
Is there a word for
The better word for it.
yeah?
Crippled hypospadias, sir.
Hypospadias cripple. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can you
So
enumerate?
you can tell like this. It is a post hypospadias, multiple fistulas along with skin tags, ragged skin, no ideal visible urethral plate identified with some marking of that fistula with the that is called as square that you so itself it is suggestive of hypospadias cripple.
Yes, sir. Can you enumerate just the names of the surgeries for the various hypospadias?
Yes. In distal hypospadias, the most commonly performed surgery is TIP or Songra's repair, followed by the it is TIP repair first, followed by the flip flap repair, second surgery. Third is metoplasty and advancement and glandoplasty is the third surgery. This is done for the distal hypospadias.
You must know 2 to 3 procedures commonly done for each side. So if it is a distal, commonly done procedure, pediatric surgery, people will do MACPAC.
Yes.
Urologist will do TIPS. Some few people will do Matthew, Philippa. And nowadays, meatal advancement and advancement for the coronal, subcoronal, and glandular meatus also. These are 3 to 4 procedures which is commonly done all over the world. Then
Yes.
mid
Sir,
hypospadias and then proximal hypospadias.
in
Classify that and tell 2 to 3 procedures commonly done.
yes, sir. Sir, in mid hypospadiasis, again, sir, TIP sonograph repair can be done, and another are the flaps. If it is flap surgery can also be done. In proximal repairs, we have the options of flaps and repair, and
in mid you have to add ductate.
yes,
Ductate tube or ductate only.
inner preputial flap liquid. Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes.
Yes. And proximal.
In
Tell me.
proximal, sir, we have option of flaps, grafts, and the combinations of both flaps and grafts. In flaps, we have Orandi flaps, Azupa flaps, Byers flaps, and Q plus mechanics flaps. These are the flaps and grafts we can do with the buccal mucosal grafts and combining flaps and grafts also done. And in we can the most important thing in proximal is the staged repair, Johnson staged repair
Yes.
procedure.
Always there is a role of stage arthroplasty also. In each type of the hypospadias, if it is associated with severe quality and deficient prepus, sometimes if it is not fitting to any procedure, then one has to go for stage repair.
Yes,
See,
sir.
one thing I will tell you, what Dr. Jitesh sir is saying is very important. He has been examiner also, and he may be our examiner this time. So, but I am telling you what he says is perfect. This, you are not writing theory paper. In theory, you write down everything, whatever you know. But in practical exam, if you want to go to the next question and you want to finish off your table properly, you must know what is the most important. So now, as he said, in each case, if you say 3 or 4 important procedures, it's more than enough. If examiner asks you anything else, then you can answer. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine?
Sir,
Okay.
in hypospadias, one should not go with a single procedure.
No. What I'm
Because
saying, as you said
the
very
procedure
rightly,
can be changed intraoperatively. So one must
Yes.
know at least 3 to 4 procedures before starting doing the hypospadia.
exactly. So what I'm telling you is, what you said is right. 3 or 4 procedure of like distal and proximal or hypospadias. So they should mention that. If examiner asks anything else, then they can enumerate whatever they want.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In this patient, Paras, if you want to see the photo again, what
treatment?
would be
Yeah.
your treatment of choice? Which surgery would you do?
Sir, I will do first the complete excision of this fistula and devitalized tissue. Then I will do the staged procedure. First is I will leave this space open, and for at least 6 months for all information to be subside, and are either birds. It should be at least 6 month time from the last surgery to be done. And then we will stay with the buccal mucosal flap or the buccal mucosal flap, because there is no healthy adjacent tissue for the other flaps to be used.
So here you can tell after excising all the skin tags and ragged scarred urethral plate, if there is a still urethral plate is remaining, then you can tell whatever you are telling. But if it is whatever the urethral plate is ragged, skin, all surrounding tissue is fibrotic, then you have to excise everything, place the BMG right now in this stage only. Wait for 3 to 6 months. With 20 to 30% BMG will get contracted. Sometimes in second procedure also BMG, another BMG is required. 60 to 70% time it is possible to tubularize that BMG whatever placed in first step. So that is BRCA 1 and BRCA 2 procedure. That is staged hypospadias using the BMG.
Okay, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay.
Thank you,
What is
sir.
the post-op care?
Sir,
This
post-op
patient has undergone this surgery, which sir has said, Gite sir has said, BMG urethroplasty is done. Now, Paras, what care will you take?
in the post-operative care, the most important care in the operative room only. First, there should be not very tight bandages around it, and catheter mostly is not non-irritating. Silicone catheter should be placed, or a feeding tube in case of a child, and then catheter has to be placed for at least a minimum of 10 days, and there should be no bladder spasm in it. And dressing should be changed under mostly in case of children under anesthesia on a 5th post-operative day, and it should not taken away the flap which we have taken.
Yes, Gita sir, you want to say something?
Yeah, someone is asking in the chat, can prepositional flap can be used as in spite of BMG? Because this patient is already hypospadias triple. N number of procedures were done elsewhere. So probably in each and every patient you may not get the prepuce. One.
Yes.
So if it is available and if it is good and of adequate size and length, that can be used. No.
Okay, sir.
So in this, what is the most important post-op care you will suggest?
Sir, care of the dressing.
No,
sir.
I'm asking. I understood. I want to just ask Dr. Gite because he is regularly doing, and this case is belonging to him. So, Dr. Gite, what is the most important post-op care? What answer you want?
Important post-op care is there should not be peri-tube leakage of the urine. Maybe due to the blockage of the tube or maybe due to the bladder spasm. It will infect all the procedure.
Okay.
And chances of getting down of the tube is there. So avoid pericatheter leak, maybe due to the blockage, oblique bladder spasm.
Fine, very good. So all of you please remember. Okay. Tanvi, can we go ahead?
Yes, sir. So it's already 11 o'clock. Now there are 2-3 options. Archan has a lot of female urology slides. So I was thinking
we can do next time. We have got time.
So next time when we do urodynamics, we can also keep 2 or 3 OSCE slides regarding female urology and finish the entire.
No, next time we keep only urodynamics, and after that we do. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. So now
your exam is not, date has not come, so don't worry about that. By Monday we can finish them.
Correct. So this is one last slide then for Paras.
Yes.
If it's okay.
Yes. Sure.
Paras. Paras?
Yes.
Yeah. This is your slide, KT recipient surgery, transplant surgery.
Before someone asks this thing, Paras answers this, there are a couple of questions. One is what about the erection, and second is what is the second?
SCC mandatory.
Yeah, is a suprapubic mandatory?
Sir, suprapubic hypospadias is mostly done for children, and suprapubic is not mandatory. And the erections is also a problem with the adults and not in case of children.
Now, this
in
must
case
be,
of
sir, is this patient adult, sir? Gite, sir?
10-12 year hoga.
Okay.
What is your policy?
Sir, my policy, whatever he is telling is, I agree with him, but my policy is to place the SPC for each and every patient, because if it is placed, it is got blocked, then everything will be fired. One, that perioral tube is if accidentally got removed, either by the staff in the ward, or by the patient himself, or by the patient relative, or by the weight of the urovag, then, and if it is happen in early phase, everything will be gone. So I will place a small SPC in each and every patient, but it is not mandatory. I agree with you.
Okay, and what about erection?
So, Gaurang Shah sir, is
bolo,
standard of care?
SPC is not a standard of care, sir. It is
No, no,
optional.
no. Someone said estrogen. I'm asking about
Estrogen is not a standard of care.
No.
That's why I'm asking. Estrogen for hypospadias surgery. I've never seen
No, sir.
anyone.
Agreed, sir.
Sir,
Agreed.
they are asking about estrogen to prevent erections.
It is not required.
Okay, sir.
No,
That's all.
usually it is not required in the children, and in adults also we are not giving. We are giving just compost 5 milligram if it is required.
Okay,
And
sir.
it is making okay with compost 5 milligram daily.
Good.
Okay. Okay. Paras, this is your last slide.
On post-operative day, patient had a pain, so we done sonography, and there is 150 ml of clot around the kidney medially, which was treated conservatively.
Okay, sir.
Can you show the slide? Can you slide again, please?
Yes, sir.
So there is ecchymosis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what.
Marks.
That is why
What are those
I-
hereditary? Yes.
So
Yeah, what is that?
whatever I am telling, whatever finding I am telling, that cannot explain this ecchymosis.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Why is
I'll
this?
tell you.
Why there is
Usually, the sonography will show you 150 cc because they cannot measure, the blood. Whenever there is a bleeding in such condition, any condition, okay, it goes into the space, and that blood loss cannot be measured. So I will never depend on sonography. Even if it says hardly 510 cc, then it's okay. If it is 150 cc, I bet you it is more than half a liter of blood patient has lost. So then this blood goes into the spaces because you have already operated, and there are space between the muscles, so it will go there.
Oswald, sir, opinion.
Yeah.
Dr. Oswald has also done quite a lot of. Yeah.
So what is your question?
No, why it is
Slide देखो.
only 150 cc they are saying sonography is a blood collection around the kidney. And this ecchymosis. This is
seven post-operative day, renal transplant. This much is the ecchymosis. Ultrasound shows 150 perinephric clot. Him patient is hemodynamically stable.
Hemodynamically stable, not requiring transfusions. Then don't explore this perinephric hematoma. Just sit tight.
That's what we have done. But the qualities of ecchymosis we are discussing.
This ecchymosis may be because of seepage of blood along the muscle plates, or it may be just an incidental finding after surgery.
See, remember that we last that transplant we did, immediately they started on anticoagulant.
Yeah.
Means after 7 days or 10 days, patient was discharged. Patient came with all this problem, with the bleeding.
Yes, sir.
So someone is asking graph Doppler. That was done. That was normal.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So how I will tell you, it is, they say 150 cc, it is not 150 cc, it is always small, and that is why you see all these things.
Correct. Okay, Paras.
How will you manage this condition?
Yes, sir. Sir, in management, we have to look at different points. First, sir, if patient is hemodynamically stable and there is no drop in hemoglobin and hematocrit, and the hematoma is posteriorly placed, means it is not compressing on the ureter or any of the major blood vessels, and it is not infected. It should be managed conservatively only, keeping it drained, and it will subside on its own with the release of urokinase, which dissolve the hematoma. Second, if hematoma is infected and large amount of hematoma is there, which causes the significant decrease in hemoglobin, or this hematoma is anterior to the kidney, means and compressing of the renal hilum or the upper part of the ureter, and then which causes the rise in serum creatinine, then this hematoma should be explored
Dr. Paras,
surgically
you
with the
said
open
you will give urokinase. Have you seen anybody giving urokinase to perinephral
No, sir.
hematomas?
I am saying that hematoma is resolved on its own because of the release of urokinase in the body. We dissolve the hematoma naturally without any interference.
Now, only one question I want to ask. You are talking of infection. Which infection will give rise to this problem?
Yes, sir. Which
infection will give rise to this problem? In MUS meetings also we have discussed. If you attended.
No, sir.
You are worried about only one infection. Which one that? Fisher is also immunosuppression.
Sir, BK virus, sir.
No. BK virus इतना जल्दी होता है क्या भाई?
Somebody has answered.
Yes.
Fungal. You remember even Sujata had presented a couple of cases in Mammalogy Society. We can manage. There are higher antibiotics and also infection techniques. This infection is very poor because, and that is common because of infection is on immunosuppression. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is
so
there any
other complications that can be expected on POD7 giving rise to this type of picture?
So this type of pictures are in the problems we have on post-operative day 7 urological complications. In the urological complications, we have urinoma, means ki collection in and around the graft, which may be a urinoma, a lymphocele, or a hematoma, and in other
Okay, I will ask you one simple question. What are the causes of bleeding? And from where?
Sir, causes of bleeding leading to hematoma. First is from the suture lines. Okay. Second is because of the dialysis previously or post-operative dialysis, which is with the heparin, and then the patient under blood thinner, which is started earlier.
You said suture line. From suture line, it may be many reasons. It can be
suture line. It is from the vein or from the artery. Okay. Then any capsular vessel or a small leakage from the surface of the kidney. Yes. And yes, sir. And sometimes sir, other vessels in the fats which are not taken care of.
So from the graph. So your
also bleeding
from the graph, yes, or from the graph, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Then.
And sir, diffuse type of bleeding in which is also expected because of the
from where else it can come? I have come across 2 cases. Many means I have heard also. Maybe
no, sir.
Do you know sometimes inferior
epigastric, yes, sir.
Not ligated?
Yes, sir. Inferior epigastric has to be ligated. Sir.
Yes.
Sometimes
then
it can also
branch
occur.
Some branch, mainly the branch of
branches from the sir vein, and sometimes the internal iliac
so it has got nothing
branches.
to do with the graph. Graph is over. Graph, everything is fine. Okay, but still there will be bleeding from this. Then it can be from
some of the deeper branches from the internal iliac vessels, which
okay.
is not taken care of.
Yes. Then.
And the sir posterior branches while preparing the bed of the graft from the venous.
That is yes, we know, but mainly it is inferior epigastric or one of the branch which is very proximal of the vein. Okay, yes. near the inguinal ligament. That is a point. Then from the drain side, do you know?
Drain side, sir. Drain side there is also bleeding, and sometimes the bleeding.
you want to add anything? In your experience, have you come across anything else?
No. Enough.
Lymphatics. So lymphatics to diagnose it as a
If you want to find out whether there is a leak or no leak, what you will do? You will do creatinine of what?
Best investigation to find out the leak or no leak is the first to if there is a drain, send drain for the CRAT, and second is to do the renal scan.
Where is this 10 times higher than serum creatinine criteria? I'm not aware of.
Sir, what you will do, you will send, answer my question. You will send only drain creatinine, you will send drain creatinine and serum creatinine, or you will send drain creatinine, serum creatinine and urine creatinine?
Sir, all of the three, sir.
Then?
All of the three, sir.
Then,
sir, because if it is leakage, then the drain creatinine should equal the urine creatinine.
Exactly.
If it is no leakage, then drain creatinine is equal to the serum creatinine.
Exactly.
तो ये 10 times का कोई criteria नहीं है पारस. See,
in the normal person, na, it is not 10 times. I'm not sure. I'm 99%. I'm telling you, it is serum creatinine and urine creatinine is 1:20 usually. Correct?
Yes.
So if in the normal person, but in this patient we don't know. So in any patient, I will advise you to send all the three creatinine. Because suppose patient has got a lymphatic drainage also, and it is diluted, and there is a urinary leakage also. Now what you will do? Out of suppose 300 cc is drainage. So your serum creatinine is 2.
Yes.
The drain creatinine is 8, and your urine creatinine is 15.
So sir, it is urine leak mixed with the lymphatic.
Yes, so that is why, beta, you should know it. So you have to send all the things. In exam says, sir, I will like to send these 3 creatinine, and then I will decide whether there is urinary leak or not. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Okay, sir. I think.
Yes, Ajay, you want to ask Prashant?
No, we can extend it to management of urine leak, but some other time.
Okay. Yes, fine.
I think it's already 11:30 now.
Yes.
So we
Pankaj bhai, you want to ask?
No, Gaurang bhai.
Because your questions are real googly questions, and they not only open their eyes, they open my eyes also. So I will be.
Okay. Actually, I become very less useful after 10:30 at night.
My day starts after 9 o'clock.
My day starts at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Okay, sir, sorry to interrupt. On Saturday, we wanted to have urodynamics lectures.
Yes.
So,
so we'll in a urodynamic, what we are going to do is we are going to show the graphs and some short history, and then ask the diagnosis. Okay.
Yes.
And with us,
Gaurang bhai, I have a suggestion here.
Yeah, tell me.
It would be very useful if some resident picks up this and gives us a 10 to 15-minute presentation on normal urodynamic reading.
Yeah, no,
sir,
we have
actually,
got
this is already
Dr.
over.
Dastur.
Okay.
Actually, Dastur madam had already taken a lecture on with us for normal urodynamics, how it should be done.
And
So
she will be the there to take that, like, with one of the examiners.
So instead of Dastur madam, let any resident talk for 10 minutes. That let us see how much they have learned from Dastur madam.
Yeah, I think a recap of 10-15 minutes is quite justified, Doctor.
No problem. So can we ask someone who will talk for 10 minutes, and then we'll start the examination.
Okay,
Not a
sir.
bad idea. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Good night.
Right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Pankaj bhai, once more, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I enjoyed. Thank you.